how's it going? So, I'm very excited for this video because I've acquired a $1 tablecloth from an estate sale and I'm planning on repurposing it into a dress. I've never done something like this before and I'm just really excited to see how it's gonna turn out, especially because I feel like repurposing something is really good for you. It's good for the environment, it's good for landfills, it's good for the economy, it's good for your gut. I don't know, it's good for everything. Actually, I can't guarantee if it's good for your gut. I don't know if it has probiotics. Also, I apologize if I sound a little off. I have a double ear infection and a sinus infection, so, you know, just one of God's favorites. This is the tablecloth, and just like, oh, the detail, like the shapes, the flowers, it's just so beautiful. There's a bunch of like berries embroidered. And what I'm very excited for, is that each corner has this like beautiful like embroidered detail. And I think it would make the perfect sleeve like that, you know what I mean? And this is the $1 sticker. So the pattern that I'll be using will be linked down in the description. And with that, let's get started.
So I first started this dress by laying out my tablecloth and cutting out my pattern pieces. I then repeated this step for the lining, which is just a white sheet that I thrifted a while ago for a few dollars. Pro tip for anyone who sews: whenever you take a trip to the thrift store, always look at the fabric selection, specifically the sheets. I have now like a little stash of sheets that I've just acquired over the last few months, and they come in handy so often when I need to make a dress. And then speaking of making a dress, I then started on my bodice.
So right now I'm just ironing down the pieces of the bodice that I've just sewn, which they already look so good. I think it's like so weird to think this was someone's tablecloth, and I guess it makes me a little emotional, and let me tell you why. So as I mentioned, this tablecloth is from an estate sale, and I like wasn't really thinking about it until I was cutting the fabric that this was like someone's. And the reason why like it kind of hit me was because as I was cutting the fabric, I found like different kinds of little stains. I found like pieces of wax. So like someone had lit a candle on this tablecloth before. Someone had like obviously enjoyed many meals over it. And it just kind of hit me that like this meant something to someone and that someone's not here anymore. This tablecloth could have been the staple of like a family's celebrations and holidays over the years, and it's really interesting that like it was just sold to a random person like me. I don't know what to say even. I'm just like in my thoughts about it, that like this tablecloth has lived a life before I found it, and I am really excited that now it's gonna like live a new life with me, right? Rather than like sitting in a landfill or like going into the trash. I think it's hilarious because, you know, I'm kind of like, well, why am I having these like really deep emotions for like a piece of fabric, like a tablecloth? And I'm like, hold on. I belong to the generation that grew up on like the Brave Little Toaster, right? Where I was convinced that like kitchen objects were self-aware and had like critical thought. But yeah, anyways, there's no real takeaway other than like, I really respect and honor the fact that like this came from love, a house full of love. And I guess I'm really excited to like welcome it into my home, which is also full of love, and like give it a new life. And I don't know, bring this dress to Europe and like, I don't know, bring it out into the park and like have fun and yeah, give it new life.
So on that note, I then went ahead to complete the bodice.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm crying just a little bit because it looks like it's a tablecloth for like one last time. Now I'm gonna start on this skirt, and there's actually a tiny hole. There are quite a few holes actually in the tablecloth, and I managed to get around some of them. But there is a tiny hole right here that I just wanna sew up and fix. So we're gonna do that now for the skirt. So I always like to wear glasses whenever I have to get like closer to a needle. Number one, because I have a fear, obviously, of having needles close to my corneas. But number two, like I feel like I secretly want to look like the guy from Ghost Adventures. I'm totally kidding, by the way. But that's like a perfect segue to what I really want to talk about, which is like the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. I really had to fight to find a segue for that one. I was listening to this podcast and I did not know this. However, I'm gonna fill you in on some Lincoln lore. So Abraham Lincoln was like the 16th president of the United States. But what some people don't know about him is that his son died. And obviously like super sad. His son's name was William, I think, and they called him Willie. So like him and his wife got super into spiritualism, which at the time meant like doing seances and stuff. But apparently like people have reported seeing Abraham Lincoln's ghost like in the White House since then. Like literally people from different countries, like William Churchill, for example, apparently saw him. This queen from the Netherlands saw him. And I don't know, what made me laugh so hard was apparently like the way in which this queen saw him was that she was like he just like knocked on her door in the middle of the night and she opened it thinking it was like a servant or something. No, it was the 16th president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, Honest Abe, standing in his like 6-foot glory and his top hat just like at the door. And I thought that was so funny. Like, what would you do? Also too, I love the polite, like, let me knock. Do you know what I mean? Like, Abraham Lincoln had the decency to knock and to wait at the door.
So I have no transition for that. So next, I started working on the skirts.
It's like it's so magical.
And once the dress was fully attached, I then went about and just kind of added some last minute details, like adding the trim from the tablecloth to the bottom of the dress. I also added a zipper, and now we're all set for the reveal.
let's do some quick thoughts. This dress is like so Lana Del Rey coded, right? Like it looks like a wedding dress. I'm obsessed. I really love the sleeves the most. Well, first of all, they look like wings a little bit, and I think that's something that's so beautiful. But yeah, like I loved the scallop edge. I love kind of like this delicate design. Yeah, and I also really like that I was able to match like the trim of the dress to that scalloped edge. No part of that tablecloth went unused. I was like freaking like harvesting a carcass. I just feel like this is probably one of the best dresses I've made technique-wise. Like you can see here, like look at how perfectly everything is done. Like even in the back with the zipper. Yeah, I'm very impressed with myself. And it's also shocking to me because it's like a $1 tablecloth. I highly implore you, if you're someone who enjoys sewing, especially if you're new to sewing, please go to estate sales, go to thrift stores and find cheap fabric. Because even something like a tablecloth can be like repurposed and recycled into something like a beautiful dress. But yeah, I love this dress. I think this is a great start to January, and yeah, we have so many more dresses to make. Like look at the sleeves, like they're so flowy. Yay! So that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you all in the future with another video coming soon. Okay, bye!